Good morning, excuse me. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. It is Sunday. Welcome to Unity of Jupiter. We're so glad you could join us today. I see some familiar faces in our congregation today, so we're glad you're here. Today is Reverend Bodhi's last Sunday with us. It's a big day for all of us, so let's appreciate him and his service to the church. And we're going to stand up now and sing, "I Am the Light of My Soul."
We can advance the slide. There we go. I am the light of my soul. I am bountiful. I am beautiful. I am bliss. I am I am the light of my soul. I am bountiful. I am beautiful. I am bliss. I am I am the light of my soul. I am bountiful. I am beautiful. I am bliss. I am. Repeat after me. I am. And like this candle today that represents the Christ consciousness that shines for us, within us, around us. And as we take a deeper breath, we turn within. We thank you, Father, Mother God, as we are immersed in your pure presence this morning. We feel your love within us and all around us. We open our hearts to the divine guidance that guides us into the greatest expression of who we are and who we can be in our lives on this planet. We give thanks this morning for unity, for our oneness, and for our understanding of God, that God is good all the time. And we know that even though life may challenge that statement, it is true that the energy of God is good, and that anything that is an expression of less than that is just us feeling separate or believing we are separate from that divine energy. So we do our part to stay connected to this holy and sacred presence, the wisdom, the light, the harmony, the joy of God that's available to us in every moment, in every breath. And we bless this ministry, Unity of Jupiter. We bless all the folks who have ever walked through these doors or the doors of any location where Unity Church in the Gardens or Unity of Jupiter has served people. Think of all those souls that you have met in this ministry, souls that are no longer on the planet, souls that founded this ministry, souls that served this ministry. And just allow their presence to be here. It is their prayers that bless us this morning. And we take a deeper breath into this moment and just acknowledging everybody in this room right here, right now. Anybody who's with us online this morning. Feeling the collective energy, the unity of all of us. Many unique individual expressions of God, but all expressions of God. And give thanks for each and every one of you who is here. We take another breath and bring into our awareness all those who are yet to discover Unity of Jupiter. As this ministry goes forward, all the new people who are going to come through the doors and feel what all of us have felt the first time we walked into Unity, that we are home in God. And so we hold a space for everyone that comes in the future into this ministry. And know that this prayer, our prayers, your prayers, are supporting them and calling them up into a greater expression of their divine identity. We give thanks for all of this, and we release this prayer into the care and keeping of God, and so it is. Amen. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Unity of Jupiter. We are here to celebrate God, to become more aware of the one power, the one presence, God, the good that is within us and all around us. And is anybody with us this morning for the first time? Welcome. Nice to have you here. Thank you all for being here. And I want to welcome the family. I know that there's some folks that have been back since COVID, so thank you for coming back. And I want to welcome anybody who's online with us this morning. And thank you for joining us from the comfort of your PJs. And we want you to know that no matter your race, your sexual orientation, your lifestyle, you are welcome to celebrate God with us here at Unity, because unity and God leave no one out. So thank you for being with us this morning. We have a statement of faith that we share every morning, Sunday morning together. Kind of grounds us in our purpose and why we do what we do here. Let's affirm this together. God is all there is and present everywhere. This is the force of love and wisdom that underlies all of the existence. And we have an affirmation for today. Let's say this together. God is good all the time. Let's take a deeper breath into that. And let's repeat it once more. God is good all the time, and so it is. And if you have one of these guys with you this morning, and you're not sure if it's on or off, you might want to check. And while you're checking, you can check into your social media, check into Unity of Jupiter, and post God is good. And then you can send that out to the world and silence your cell phones. And we've fed 2 birds with 1 crumb. My daughter's in the room, so I won't be getting her text. And you know how it is when you have people on your favorites list. No matter how much you turn your phone off, they still get through. So, all right. So let's stand as we sing our congregational song. This is a fun song written by Ricky Byers from the Agape Church out in California. Well, she is now on her own. She has her own ministry. And let's see, it's called I Love Myself So Much. I love myself so much. There it is. Part here. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. All right? So tell somebody, I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. Tell somebody else, please. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. Okay, it's okay if you have to move around the room and tell somebody else. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. One more. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. All right. And this is, well, we kind of greeted each other then, but this is the opportunity for us to greet each other again as we sing, I am the light of God. 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 Tell someone you are the light. You are the light of God. You are the light of God. You are the light of God. We are the light. Hands in the air if you can. We are the light of God. We are the light of God. We are the light of God. Take it back to yourself. I am the light. I am the light of God. I am the light of God. I am the light of God. And you may be seated. Young Patrick. Yes. Yes. Not yet. What, do your thing.
I shall do my thing.
Do your thing. When we get there, I'll interrupt you.
Sorry, I am young Patrick, your platform assistant today, and a member of the board. And I'd like to welcome everybody here. This is such a delicious energy in this room on Sunday. I'd like to start off by reading one of our core values. We are unity, all my brothers, my sisters, and me.
All right, I've been wanting to do this since we created that core value, so if you'll advance the slide. Here we go. So we're going to sing this together.
Our unity. I got all my family and me. We are unity. Get up, everybody, and sing. We are unity. I got all my family with me. We are unity. Get up, everybody, and sing. We are unity. I got all my family and me. We are unity. Get up, everybody, and sing. We are unity. I got all my family with me. We are unity. Get up, everybody, and sing. Get up, everybody, and sing. Get up, everybody, and sing.
Told you I'd interrupt you.
Today's daily word is personally my absolute, bar none, favorite word ever. Because the word is gratitude. It just happens, it's the truth. Today's daily word. Not that I wouldn't lie, but seriously, if I'm looking and open and finding gratitude, I am always on the right side of the road. I am never in anger, resentment, fear, and just gratitude is the word for me. So today's word is gratitude. Gratitude is my natural state of mind. That joy is to feel gratitude rising from my heart and filling my mind. Feeling gratitude makes me aware of the all-compassion presence of God, including the divine within me. When I live from a spiritual nature, gratitude becomes the song of my heart. I don't need to wait for a reason to feel gratitude. When I live with an attitude of gratitude, I find good in every situation. The blessing that can come from adversity and the presence of God in every aspect of life. Practicing gratitude opens my eyes to the blessings that are present and opens my heart to receiving more. I give thanks for the unlimited world, blissful peace, and perfect wholeness. And the reading is from Psalms 59:2. Let us come into the presence with thanksgiving. Let us make joyful noise to him with songs of praise. But I would invite all of you to put something in your pocket. Today I have this little guy. Very little.
What is it?
But it's a little horse.
It's a little horse.
But sometimes I'll put a coin or something, so when I go to take change or something, I hit that, and it's my trigger to remember to be in gratitude if I'm not already there. So, this is just, I invite you to make it one of your favorite, most delicious words. Okay.
Thank you, Reverend Paxton.
So, okay, that's the 5. Okay, so as you know, we'll be moving on from this facility. There are bid lists all around. If you see something you'd like, I really hope you take something to remind yourself of this beautiful facility that we've enjoyed for, I don't know, 15, I don't know how many years. And that's what these silent auctions are from. Today's the last day. So if nobody's bid on it, or you're the highest bidder, bless it and take it with you. So let me read this. So we are holding a silent auction. You will see tables around the room, but just write your name. You didn't know I could read that quick. Anyway, and things around the ground. We've been asking people who donated things, benches of memorabilia for family or friends that have passed, or wedding things, to take them for the last month. So things that are around should be available for people who would like to make a bid or like to make a contribution. The bookstore, I haven't gotten the formal approval of the board, but I would say what?
Everything's on sale.
Everything's on sale. I'd almost say, if you see a book you really, really like, $1 or $2, you know, I mean, because by next week, anyway, leave it up there.
The more you take, the less you have to
Yes.
move.
Okay, the other thing we want to ask each of you is, as we begin to gather in our new setting, which is the West Community Jupiter Center, we're going to need some office space. So we're moving to West Jupiter Community Center is fast approaching, and we have some exciting events coming up, opportunities for you to get involved. We will be holding a garage sale on September 3rd. Miss Dusty is going to be posting some stuff on Jupiter Locals for people to make bids on, and whatever that doesn't get picked up in that way, we're going to have a garage sale. Whatever doesn't go in a garage sale, we're going to try to give it to
Goodwill.
halfway houses and Goodwill or whatever we need. On October 9th, which is our last Sunday in this location, we will be holding a special release day ceremony with New Beginnings ceremony the following Sunday, October 16th. After our first service at the new location, please consider helping with activities and indications in areas of interest for you to sign up for, and there's a back there. Okay. Blah, 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 blah.
You done?
No. I couldn't. Thank to each of you who have volunteered to help us downsize. Many memorable items are around and in by the labyrinth, and if you need them, pick them up, claim them. If you are donating items, you are still in the gardens. We have marked some with blue tape, which have already been spoken for, and if they're not marked, and you would like it as a momentum, okay. We do not have 24/7 sanctuary, so if you, we do not have a 24/7 sanctuary. And a few things appear to have gone missing. Kindly let Susan Toya know, or a board member, if there's an item that was yours that was picked up in error. Okay. So, I thought there was a statement about office space.
You already did it.
I already did, okay. Oh, office space. Seriously, we're gonna need, for a while, we're gonna have kind of a church in a box in West Jupiter Center. That's a beautiful location. It'll be really nice, but we're also gonna have to have either storage or some office space. So if you know of any or know somebody, please contact anybody but me, no. You can contact me or Susan or Michael. Okay. Silent auction, divided B. Okay, and on the Friday, August 26th, young Bodhi is going to do the last kirtan chanting post. And that's going to be at 9, from 7 till 9. The Reverend Bodhi will lead that.
Next Friday.
After service today, we have plenty of food and dessert and sweets for everybody. A little whiskey, if you call iced tea whiskey like I do. Please come join us and help us celebrate young Mr. Bodhi.
Yeah, have one for me.
And I think that's it.
I think it's time to pass the basket.
Did I miss anything, Miss Jenna? Okay, that's it.
Thank you. Thank you. I love you. I love you. I appreciate your presentation. So I just want to appreciate the board right now that is going above and beyond their normal duties of a board as both Janet and I step away from the ministry. So I'd like Susan and Nina and Patrick and Michael. Brian said may be watching us on Zoom from Maine. And there's one more. Sandy. Sandy's not here this morning. So anyway, this if you all, the board, would stand up so we can recognize you and thank you for your service. Thank you. And thank you. You may be seated now. Thank you, Patrick. I may call you back up if I get stuck or something. But Michael, if you would come up here. So Michael, I want to honor as our volunteer for the last 2 years since I've been here. Michael. Michael's been here almost every Sunday and singing with me, and now he's the board president. So he's really been doing a lot of wonderful work for this ministry. So I just want to honor Michael. I've sent Michael a gift certificate for a sound healing bath, which I know he will appreciate. And so let's just give Michael our appreciation. And I know I've told the story a couple times, but some of you may not have heard it, that in 1973, both Michael and I were at an international music festival in Graz, Austria. He was with one choir from Connecticut, and I was with the choir from Westchester, Pennsylvania. And when we met, somehow that discussion came up, and we discovered that we were both there when we were 13. Well, you might have been a little bit older. Like 60. And what a neat thing that we've had, that our paths crossed here. So beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is not a silent auction item. All right. So we're going to sing Pour Yourself in Me as our meditation song. So I invite you to relax into your most comfortable meditative posture, which sometimes, if you can't sit on your cushion or something like that, you just want to sit up straight, lengthen the spine, have your feet flat on the floor, and soften your belly and take some deep breaths as we move into our meditation with Pour Yourself in Me.
Yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour your love in me, pour your love into my heart. Oh, Spirit.
And as we move deeper into this time of conscious contact with the Lord of our being, I invite you to become more aware of your breathing. Breathing in the pure essence of God. Breathing out, letting God be God in you. Breathing in the love of God. And allowing that love to move into every cell of your being. Opening your heart and allowing that love to find its place into every nook and cranny. Everywhere that needs to be healed, everything that needs to be touched. Breathing it in and breathing it out, letting go. Surrender. Release. We are immersed in the pure presence of God in this very moment because wherever we are, God is. We are created in the image and likeness of God. And we were born in original blessing. You are a divine expression of the living God. And you express God in your mind, body, and spirit, in your words, in your actions, in your loving service to others. And as we stay connected to this divine spark, everything that we do is informed by this light, by this love, by this wisdom. And we create a new earth. We create heaven on earth as we live in this way. And so we allow the full presence of God to be awakened in us at this time, affirming that God is good all the time. God is the love that I share with my loved ones. God is the wisdom that speaks through me. God is the harmony that creates beautiful, loving relationships in my life. God is the abundance in which I share generously of my resources. God is the forgiveness that I extend to others when I feel resentment and when I move into love. God is the playfulness that allows me to enjoy my life and enjoy this incredible experience on earth, in this body, in this time, in this place. God is the compassion that I extend to others, to all races, to all sexual orientations, to all people, no matter their socioeconomic status. I see the divine within them. I see the presence of God within them. And it reminds me that God is in me too. This is unity. Knowing our oneness, knowing no separation from God. God is. I am. And sometimes we get caught up on that word God because well-meaning, misguided people have used it to punish us, to make us feel fear. And we know that if it's not love, it's not of God. We allow that pure love to heal us. And we forgive ourselves for those times when we have been less than love, when we have acted from fear or lack or doubt. So right here, right now, we let all that go. Just allow the pure love of God to express in and through and as us. God is good all the time, and I am blessed. God is good all the time, and I am blessed. And let us know this truth as we move deeper into the stillness, the quiet, the silence. And take a deeper breath as we gently begin to bring our awareness back to this time and place. Grateful for these moments that remind us and connect us to our true essence. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. As we sing together once again, pour yourself in me. Shine your light in me. Shine your light into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, shine your light in me. Shine your light into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, sing your song. Sing your song in me. Sing your song into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, sing your song in me. Sing your song into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, dance and smile. Dance and smile in me. Dance and smile into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, dance and smile in me. Dance and smile into my heart. Oh, yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Oh, wonderful Spirit. How are you? I am blessed. That's the right answer. Because God is good. How are you? Because God is good. How are you? Because God is good. All right. If we could have the ushers come forward now. That's what we need to remember, right? God is good all the time. God's not a person. Well, God could be a person. God's in every one of us. But in unity, we talk about God more as an energy, as a principle that holds this whole universe, multiverses, whatever you believe, together, right? In this harmony of love and joy and wisdom. So our spiritual work is to remember that and to live from that place, that remembering God is good. And yet, often in life, we experience less than that, right? I mean, just look at this world, what we've been through over the past 3 years of COVID, the political discourse, the racism, all the different things that are going on in the planet that seem to have been elevated in a way that has made us at times more fearful and more withdrawn. And yet, the principle that God is good has never stopped. It's still there. And yet we've forgotten about it. And I mean, it's obvious in this position that people's faith has been challenged in ways that I haven't seen before. And I just read an article yesterday about how less and less people have a church that they belong to. And less and less people are going to church. And it's not that we believe less in God, but it's that the church isn't, it's changing how people are attending church across denominations. And so it's just something to be aware of. And yet you are here because you still have that faith. You still have that desire. You want to know God in a deeper way. So you come. And a big part of a church is community. Matter of fact, it's bigger than what I'm doing right now. You may think you come to church to hear the minister talk, but what's more important than that for most people is community, to be in community. And that's been that's been challenged so much over the past 3 years, right? Being able to be together. So we're in all these different ways online and all these things, and we're missing this connection. And so with all of this stuff that's going on in our lives around us all the time, our faith is remembering that God is good. You know, that energy of the divine is available, and it hasn't changed. You know, in the yoga traditions, we talk about yorgas, which are time frames that last about 1,500 years. And we're in Kali Yoga, which is a time of destruction. And things have to dissolve so that new things can come forward. And that's an important thing for us to remember, that in life there is this continuing cycle of death and birth and death and rebirth and death and birth. And it happens in ministries, It happens in our own lives. It happens in, all the time. It happens in nature. Nature is the most beautiful expression of the cycle of death and rebirth. Because every time it comes back fresh, and it comes back bigger, and it comes back more beautiful. And something to remember as this ministry is moving through the challenge of change and transition. There's this death and rebirth. And there's a book from Unity written by Unity minister Robert Brummett, who was one of my instructors in ministerial school, called Finding Yourself in Transition. And transitions begin with endings. And they happen all the time. You can't stop them. Matter of fact, it's easier to go with the transition than to try to keep things the same, right? Think about all the energy you've spent in your life trying to keep something the same. And the truth is that things change all the time. So transitions begin with endings. Think about what has ended in your life and how it felt at that time of an ending. Sad, grief, disappointment, fear. And yet, so we acknowledge it. What I love about this book is it gives you a language for transitions in our lives. So after this ending occurs, we move into the void or the wilderness, like the Israelites in the desert with Moses for 40 years in transition, in the wilderness, not knowing how they were going to eat, not knowing anything, and yet trusting. So this void or this wilderness is like, what's next? What's next? But what I love about the wilderness and what I love about the void, it's the place where spirit is most active and most accessible in our lives. Because when we're in an ending, we don't really know what's going on. When we're in a new beginning, then something happens and we're comfortable again. But that place in the wilderness, that's a real magical place. It's where God is most accessible to us and where possibilities are endless. So again, we have a language when you're feeling lost, when you're feeling disconnected. It's a time to go within. Remember that God is good and hold to the possibilities of something good is going to happen. A wonderful expression in Unity is that we let go of the good for the better. And some of you sitting here today are like, how can we let go of the good of this place and the beauty of this place? Is by knowing that there's something better. It may not show up tomorrow or the next day, but there's something better, longing, because that's the nature of God, is to give you something better, to give you the kingdom, to give you the good that you desire, that God's knocking on your heart, wanting to offer you this goodness. And then, well, however long the wilderness takes, the void, could be a day, a week, could be a lifetime or two. And then there's a new beginning. And we find our way again. And we rebuild a foundation, and things grow. And then we live in that new beginning until there's another transition, right? So this is the cycle of life, and it's important to recognize it. I wanted to share a reading from one of my daily devotional books that I read is the Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo. And this reading says, to know God without being God-like is like trying to swim without entering water. To know God without being God-like is like trying to swim without entering water. I'm just reminded of the expression by Gandhi who said, I'm not so sure about your Christians, but I like your Christ. In other words, we all know people like that who are good Christians, but man, I don't even want to be in the same room with them because I feel so judged at times. And, because I don't do it their way. And yet, Christ was open and accepting to all people. I love the story of the Good Samaritan, the person that Jesus' culture disliked the most, the Samaritans, because they were a mixed blood. And I'm watching the way I'm telling the story because Rabbi Bruce is in the room. And he probably has a different perspective of this. But I love that Jesus was that open-hearted that he used that example of the Good Samaritan. The Samaritan was the one that helped the person who was injured. And that's why we have the Good Samaritan law, that if you try to help somebody, you can't be sued by helping somebody out. So this story goes on to say that underneath all we are taught, there is a voice that calls to us beyond what is reasonable. And in listening to that flicker of spirit, we often find deep healing. This is the voice of embodiment, calling us to live our lives like sheet music played. And it often speaks to us briefly in moments of deep crisis. Sometimes it is so faint we mistake its whisper for wind through the leaves. But taking it into our hearts, the heart of our pain, it can often open the paralysis of our lives. This brings to mind the story of a young divinity student who was stricken with polio. And from somewhere deep within him came an unlikely voice calling to him, of all things, dance. So with great difficulty, he quit divinity school and began to dance. And slowly and miraculously, he not only regained the use of his legs, but went on to become one of the fathers of modern dance. This is the story of Ted Shawn. And it is compelling for us to realize that studying God did not heal him. Embodying God healed him. The fact that Ted Shawn's miracle shows us that dance, in all its forms, is theology lived. This leads us all to the inescapable act of living out what is kept in, our daring to breathe in muscle and bone, what we know and feel and believe again and again. Whatever crisis we face, there is this voice of embodiment that speaks beneath our pain ever so quickly, and if we can hear it and believe it, it will show us the way to be reborn. The courage to hear and embody opens us to a startling secret that the best chance to be whole is to love whatever gets in the way until it ceases to be an obstacle. Before work or during the day, sit quietly outside for a few moments. Close your eyes and be still. Feel the air on your closed lids. Let your love wash through your heart, up through your chest. Let your love breeze up your throat and find your eyes. When you open your eyes, stretch and focus on the things you see. If it's a bench, say, I believe in bench. If it's a tree, say, I believe in tree. If it's a torn flower, say, I believe in torn flower. Rise with a simple belief in what you feel and see, and touch what is before you, giving your love a way out. Isn't that beautiful? Change can activate the presence of God in our lives. When we get comfortable and we're doing the same thing over and over, we're actually leaving out all the energy of miracles that can happen in our lives. So we want to be open to it and embrace it and see what miracles can come of that. There's another teaching that Jesus gave us, which was about putting new wines in old wineskins. And he said it didn't work because the new wine is fermenting and the old wineskin would bust open. It couldn't hold the new wine. And this speaks to us about consciousness. To move forward, you have to let go of the old. You can't put old wine in old wineskins or old wine in new wineskins. Who wants old wine? Not me. But it's the new wine, which is the Spirit, which is the Spirit of God, the new consciousness, the new ideas that rise us above the old. I've been guilty of not reaching out enough to the people that no longer come to this ministry. But where my consciousness has been to serve you and the new people that are coming. You know, Jesus said, let the dead take care of the dead. I don't know what he was thinking when he said that. It's not a very nice thing to say. But if we look at it from a place of consciousness, let go of the old. If it's right, the right people will be here. You know, it's like you can't go chasing after those who don't want to be in your presence. I mean, how often do we do that in relationships? You know, we love somebody who doesn't love us back, and yet we cling to them. And it keeps us from our good. It keeps us from the good that it's on its way. So we have to let go and be open to the new. Every minister that's here is going to draw to them the people that want that energy. And so as you go forward as a ministry, you have to give time for that, because it takes time for that connection to happen. Don't try to recreate what was. Create something new. God wants to express something new through us. Every breath gives us that opportunity to create something new. Let go of the old wine. You know what a Unity minister's favorite wine is, Reverend Bob? I went to church in Florida. Edwin Gaines, wonderful Unity minister, said, God is glorified when you stand up and acknowledge who you are and claim your birthright. And who are you? You are a divine being, a child of God, the Most High, a person who deserves to have every good thing that life has to offer. So you are a portion of God made manifest. When we don't know what's going to happen next, remember, you are a portion of God made manifest. When you feel sick or you're broke or you feel alone, remember you are a portion of God made manifest. So bring your gifts, bring your wounds, bring your cares, your sorrows, and your joys. It's all welcome here, because God is bigger than any of that. God is bigger than our challenges. So it's not what we're going through. It's what we do with it. It's what we choose to become. So shake it off. Let it go. And allow the presence of God to manifest in you in a new way. It's longing to be expressed as you. So thank you for the opportunity to serve this ministry for the last 2 years. I will miss you, and yet I'll still be around. And if you want to see what I'm up to, you can follow the Bodhi Spot, S-P-O-T, on Facebook, or my website, thebodhispot.com. And I'll be offering pretty much the same thing I do here, only under my own banner. And I'm looking forward to that. It's a little bit scary financially to figure out how that's all going to work, but I have to move on, and God has something else for me to express. And I'm owning that. As much as there's a whole piece here like, oh, I don't want to leave, and why am I leaving, where are you going, all that kind of stuff. And it's like my soul is calling me into something different, into something greater. And I love and appreciate you for allowing me to do that. And and at the same time, let's hold a space for the right and perfect leadership to come here to lead this ministry into its next greatest expression of unity. So thank you. I love you. God bless you.
I'm going to sing a song, but before we do, I'd like to take a moment to bless Bodhi. If you could all join me in singing. We love you, we bless you, we truly, truly appreciate you. We behold the Christ as you. Great stuff. So, before I sing, first of all, I do. Thank you. I'm self-taught on the guitar, and I've never sung in front of people before. So I had to decide, should I sing standing up or should I sing sitting down? And I decided if I sang sitting up, my knees would knock. So I'm going to sit down. But I wanted to do something special for Bodhi, to show my appreciation to him and to bless him for all that he's done for this church in the past 2 years, and to bless him on his next voyage in life. Boy, I'm nervous. So this is a song by Miten and Deva Premal called Sing Your Own Song. Sing your own song, beat your own drum, fly on the wind, it will carry you. Dance your own dance, it's a beautiful chance. Fly on the wind, it will carry you. Why hesitate when there's nothing to fear? Why do we wait till the moment is near? Be your own light, keep your heart strong, and sing your own song. Sing your own song. Beat your own drum. Fly on the wind, it will carry you. Let yourself go. Say yes, don't say no. Fly on the wind, it will carry you. Why hesitate when there's nothing to fear? Why do we wait till the moment is near? Be your own light, keep your heart strong, and sing your own song. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Why hesitate when there's nothing to fear? Why do we wait when the moment is near? Be your own light, keep your heart strong, and sing your own song. Be your own light, keep your heart strong, and sing your own song.
sharing your abundance with us. And it's now time for us to share our financial abundance, an opportunity to give back from our own abundance. First, let's read the Unity Prosperity Blessing, which I think is on the slide. Unity of Jupiter's Prosperity Blessing. In a universe overflowing with abundance and good, we acknowledge God as the source of all our blessings. We affirm our receptivity and acceptance of this good from every direction, known and unknown, expected and unexpected. Our abundant good comes to us now. Thank you, God, and so it is. Okay. So as you know, there are several ways to give. They'll be passing the basket, but you can give through our QR code or the phone number 561-581-1119. You can make a credit card donation in the bookstore. And now, as I say, to keep our time of giving sacred, we ask you to hold your gift in your hand so we can bless it. We are planting the seeds of our own prosperity, giving back to God from our abundance that has already provided to you. Breathe life into your gift. Thank God that you have this to give. Now we affirm our blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I have, and all that I give, and all that I receive. So the baskets will be passed around, and I want to remind you again after service, if you don't have time to share in our sandwiches in abundance, take one with you home for lunch, and you don't have to if you can't stay, but there's more than plenty of food, so thank you.
Thank you. I want to do this song because this is one we did at Easter time, and it's just a beautiful song that. Hallelujah. 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 The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. 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 And all is well. And all is well. And all is well. And all Let's bless these gifts in our prayer box. So as we bless these gifts, we acknowledge God as the source of all our good. The abundance of God flows through us into this ministry, and we are divinely guided to use these resources in a way that serve our planet, that serve our community, that serve our lives. So thank you, God, and we acknowledge each giver, seeing you abundantly blessed in all good things as you participate in your own prosperity through the cycle of giving and receiving. We are blessed as we give. We give thanks for this truth, and so it is. And we take this moment to bless all the names and all the people on our prayer box here at Unity of Jupiter, and anyone else in your minds and hearts this morning. Just breathe into the presence of God that is active in every life. We pray from this place of God within us to the place of God within them, activating the health, the prosperity, the wisdom, the joy, the creativity of God in every life. We give thanks for all of this. We give thanks for this beautiful ministry of Unity of Jupiter and for all the souls who participate here. We pray this in the name and in the nature of the indwelling Christ presence. And so it is. Amen. And if you want to stand, we will sing the peace song and close with the prayer for protection.
And after that, there is fellowship. Patrick has brought some food, so I hope you'll all join us and celebrate.